This is Seven Dooms for Sandpoint, Chapter 4, Footprints on the Roof. This is episode 57. You've all just had a delicious, filling, and interesting dinner with a set of adventurers from out of town that include a surprising number of Sandpoint natives, including the adventuring group's leader, Caleb Valdemar, who also, having left town a few years ago, had some connections in town, not the least of which is our own Natalin. Also in the mix there was Erica Averton, the daughter of Alma Averton, a Sandpoint resident, who had taken off to sow her oats, and after dinner seems to be, well, having second thoughts and has rushed home to see her family. And of course, speaking of family, one of them is none other than Human Monty, which I think is more of a player designation, but I don't know, maybe Millie refers to her son as Human Monty. But Millie's son, Monty, is a part of that group, along with one Adamar Scarnetti and the very unapproachable, but also nobody asked him much of anything, Curtis Jeed. Everybody's favorite Curtis Jeed.
I had forgotten his name.
Curtis. It's not that nobody approached him. It's that just Icselo approached him. Icselo
you know,
dominated
the thing about Curtis Jeed is he seems exactly like the kind of person who would not only be at, but probably would have fought in a certain cage match that took place recently in the United States.
Yes, 100%.
He's 100% would be an MMA fighter.
He wears the tap out shirts.
Yeah, 100%. They have like the foiling, like the shiny stuff on them. Yeah.
With I can't think of the guy, like the Ed Hardy jeans.
But
oh, God.
I should also point out that a couple people have established some specific plans. Other people have general plans to go and tour the festivities this evening. Lumi shot her shot and has secured a date with Sava. And Caleb Valdemar and Natalin are planning to spend some time together. Velynia hopes to see a show that she's been trying to see for the last couple days.
I promised I would go. Now it's a fucking quest.
Millie, Icselo, Lyra, also presumably all heading out into the town for the festivities. Let's start with Millie so we can establish where Millie is, and then I think Millie's gonna let's just see what Millie's gonna be up to.
No idea what Millie's up to. What is it? It's getting to be about festivities time. Where did we leave off? Where are we?
It was after dinner. Everybody's heading into town to do things. Like festival things. Does she want her fortune read? Does she want to try some archery? Dancing? A maze? Toss some goblins? A gem sifting? A tea garden? Chasing fireflies? Visiting an oracle? Attending a story circle? Those are just some of the specified events, but there's also tons of markets and stalls, and you could get up to your own mischief or revelry as you wish.
Millie would probably just be wandering around the various stalls, looking at the vendors and whatnot who aren't normally here.
Okay, just kind of checking out the wares, seeing what people have brought, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Looking for anything in particular, or?
Nope. She's just vibing. She's
okay.
Just floating along, enjoying the festival atmosphere. Yeah.
I think what would be good, since Millie's going to be kind of vibing around town, I'm going to grant you the option to, as other people are getting about doing their things, if you decide Millie's there, she might be there.
Ooh, wild card. That's fun.
Icselo, where are you and Lyra getting up to?
That's a good question. It's more or less Lyra's getting into things and I'm keeping up, is probably accurate. We got our faces painted. We have hit various market stalls for the bevy of sweets available. I'm carrying everything. We're probably playing games. I'm sure there's some sort of fucking like ring toss or pop the something or chase the something, and that's what we're doing.
Pop the something, chase the something.
I think that I gotta remember where is this guy from? One of the games is called Goblin Toss.
Oh my god.
I'm really good at this game.
So Jabrail Visky, who runs the feed bag, has set up the Goblin Toss event. Now, for obvious reasons, they're not real goblins. Though it should be noted,
They used to be, like back in the day, but it's a different time.
I mean, you get a few more drinks into Jabrail, and
amazing.
He may talk about, well, we used to use
actually.
They're actually wooden goblin effigies that you hurl at painted targets resembling local dangers. The most prominent and the higher scoring ones are dogs of various sizes, horses, all the things that goblins hate. There is there are several heroes depicted as well that are representative of, from the time of troubles, the heroes that were instrumental in driving out the goblins back then. And I think at some point, Icselo, while you are doing this with Lyra, one of the locals probably pipes up and says something like, They should paint your faces on these things. The heroes, not the goblins. You guys are making quite a name for yourselves."
Who was saying this? The guy who was running the store? The guy who runs the feedback?
No, just somebody watching.
Do I recognize them?
I don't know. You tell me.
Yes.
Oh, cool.
Who is it?
Yeah.
Am I just making up a person?
Yeah.
Hold on. This is Victor Nussbaum. He is newly in port last couple of years. Probably works as a dockhand. I have met him because he was publicly intoxicated, and I got him home.
I was literally thinking drunken disorderly.
And I think he's the kind of guy that when he drinks heavily, his real accent shows through, and it's very noticeable.
It's definitely the accent's coming through pretty strong right now. Go ahead and as Jabrail puts 3 wooden goblins down in front of you, and Lyra starts pointing out different targets. And she says she's asking you to try to hit the 3 horses. Goblins hate horses.
Me too.
And because if you get all 3 horses, then she can get a stuffed horse.
Oh my god.
So I'm going to need you.
What am I rolling?
You're going to be making athletics checks.
Use all the frickin' dice. She needs a horse.
Baron burns through 10 Domain dice just to get a stuffed horse.
Maybe he needs a new horse.
Just like the real the real carnival games.
Yeah, where you just
I'm trying to think
money on the
what is the carnival row? Is it Carnival Row where all the carnival games are? What do they call that?
Carnival Row.
Barker's Row. What? I was thinking specifically of Cedar Point.
The crappy like Amazon Prime show when you say Carnival Row.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I was thinking of like Cedar Point when you go through where all the games are, or any county fair or whatever. Anyway, you're gonna be making an athletics check as you throw your first goblin.
First one's a 26.
Bam! Right into a horse. Knocks that horse right over.
Ping!
Now, never mind. I'm not gonna say nothing. Second is way higher, 30.
Ping!
A 30 is a critical success.
God.
I break the stall.
Does he bank it and get 2 at once?
I was gonna say I think you hit a horse, and the goblin splits in 2, and one half takes out one horse, and the other half takes out another horse.
Yes.
And you still have one goblin left.
The lowest of them all, 21.
That is still a hit. Jabrail is looking a bit disgruntled. I shouldn't count that one. Should make you pay for another goblin, but... And Victor speaks up and says, "You better watch your mouth. He's a bona fide hero, and he'll get you real goblins. Probably sick 'em on you, too." And then kind of nudges you in the ribs.
Incredible.
I smile, grab him by the shoulder.
Lyra's...
And I slam my hand on the table. Yeah, real goblins. But I've put a couple coppers on the table to pay for the wood.
Lyra's already pointing at the stuffed horse that she wants. And in anticipation of the festival, I imagine some of these prizes have been created by some of the various craftsfolk in town. So it's a nice sewn and stuffed, soft.
It's a plush.
Well, I mean, it's a plush in.
Of course it is.
It's
Like a squishmallow.
In 4024 or Varesia.
right. It's crocheted, which would be sick.
It's gotta be, Tamiko. It's gotta be.
Oh, it better be massive.
It's huge.
Make a perception check, Icselo.
All right, let's get this.
Oh, God, it's stuffed with drugs.
What are the chances this is really bad? Because I rolled a 1.
Oh no, you're fine. You're fine. You don't know where or how she got it, but Lyra now has a wooden stick that is just as big as her head, is filled with bright pink cotton candy.
Oh.
And she's just eagerly eating away at it with
So
the cotton
happy.
candy in one hand and a big stuffed horse in the other. And she's holding the cotton candy to the horse's face as if sharing it. And then she looks up at you and says, I think I'm going to name her Cotton Candy.
A lovely name, my dear.
And the two of you vanish down through the various games and events, and we'll come back to you after a bit. I'm wondering, so I shall let the dice decide. I'm going to say 1 through 4 will be Lumi. 5 through 8 will be Natalin. And 9 through 12 will be Velynia.
That's perfect. Oh.
Lumi. You and Sava are where in town?
I imagine that Lumi is kind of like wandering through the streets trying to find Sava. She's all dressed up for her date in that like flowing, a little bit sultry dress that she's wearing. And she's like trying her best as she's like bumping through the crowd trying to find where tall Sava is.
Give me a... Go ahead and give me a perception check at first.
3 on the die for a total of 14.
You're so short. This makes sense.
I'm so short.
Can't see.
She's like hopping up onto
hopping
barrels
from time to time.
Yeah.
You're struggling to find Sava at first. And then as you're walking through, where's my list of places? I guess not surprisingly, as you wander through the market, you see the crowd parts a little bit, and there's Sava in, I believe she was wearing a little bit of a flowy, sort of a greens and blues. I don't remember exactly. I should have gone back and checked the tape. But she
blues, and she's wearing a flower crown,
and it's sleeveless, and yes, she is wearing a wreath of flowers in her hair. And her hair is all pulled back up and up off her shoulders, which are bare, of course. But not surprisingly, she is standing in front of an out-of-town weapons dealer. And when you see her, she has a pair of heavy short swords with wide blades. And she's taking both of them and just testing their weight, and sort of does a sort of...
Ooh. Ooh.
And in the process, you just see in the what is becoming mostly just firelight, lantern light, from all the extra lanterns and lamps that have been lit. The town seems to glow almost of its own accord for all the lantern light there is, which creates nice shadows dancing across the flexed muscles as she tests the swords, and then she hands them handle first back to the vendor, and she kind of turns and sees you and immediately lights up with a smile and waves.
Lumi will approach And she'll get on her little tiptoes and she'll, "Hi, beautiful."
Oh my god.
She looks at you and just smiles and without hesitation, she just reaches out and takes your hand and says, "Where do we want to go?"
Oh, and she's been like yanked by the hand a little bit here. Well, you see, there's we could go, and there's like that little garden back there, and there's some performers that are happening. It's down the street down there a little bit right there. I saw them on the way here. They look really cool. We have a little bit of time left before the show. We could also go get something to eat, a little snack maybe. She stammers with a few ideas.
She says of the when you mention the garden, she kind of lights up a little bit and she says, "Yes, I heard there was a Dreamwalker's tea garden. I kind of wanted to see what that was all about."
Well, let's go.
I mean, if you like tea.
Let's go to the tea garden.
And she will lead you towards an area on the outskirts of town a little bit, where it's a vendor has set up a wagon. I couldn't think of the word for wagon. Has set up their wagon, and they have all around the wagon. They have set up these little in front of it to these like white picket fences, and there's a ton of exotic plants. You suspect some druid craft may have been employed to enhance the growth of these things, and it creates these sort of natural little cozy spots for all these tables for anywhere for a party of 6 or 8 people could sit in a table, and it could be next to a party of 2, and they're completely isolated by the way these various plants grow. And the woman who is tending to this is a very tall, pale-skinned woman. Her cart says Sister Celine's Dreamwalker's Tea Garden.
Ooh. Is she a nun?
Herbal teas. It says in fancy script, herbal teas, vivid dreams, and spiritual conversations.
Cool.
And you are free to, as you walk in, Sava kind of looks around a little almost overwhelmed. Do you want to sit maybe over here? And kind of points to a table. It's like those little, it's all white, but it looks like it's made entirely of wrought iron that is made to look like the branches, like branches have just grown up out of the ground in the form of a table. And the chairs as well, but there are only 2 chairs, and it is surrounded on 3 sides by dense green branches with a variety of small colorful flowers, and you can even see occasionally fireflies illuminating from within.
Lumi brings her chair up close, side by side with Sava's chair, and sits next to her.
As you take a seat, my words are failing me today. You did not call for her, but this tall, pale woman seems to almost glide over towards you and bows slightly towards the two of you and says, "Good evening. I am Sister Celine."
Well, good evening, Sister Celine, Lumi says warmly.
"You are here for the Dreamwalker's tea experience?"
And Lumi looks up to Saba in confirmation before nodding.
She nods as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yes, we are.
"I would like to assure you that you are completely safe within our tea garden. The visions, dreams, and spiritual conversations that happen within are yours to enjoy between yourself and your accompaniment." And she will place down the tray that she was carrying, which is a fancy tea tray. There's a kettle. There are a couple of fancy teacups, and she places it down, and she portions a small amount of loose leaf into each of these cups, and she will pour the hot water into each of them, and then she will place a small clockwork rabbit down on the table in front of you. She will reach down and she will wind it, and she says, "Please allow the tea to stop. Nope. Allow the tea to steep until the rabbit stops hopping. In the meantime, enjoy your privacy and your conversation." And she places the rabbit down, which this little clockwork rabbit, very finely, very intricate. Its nose will twitch a little bit. It has very fine wire whiskers that will sort of move when the nose twitches. The ears, each ear has a small hinge in it, so it'll periodically flop halfway down, and then it will take a couple hops in a very tight circle around the table, and you can very faintly hear the whirring of the clockwork mechanism as it does so. But as Sister Celine bows before you and takes a step back, she raises a hand, and the bushes and the flowers, and they knit closed slightly. You can still see through, and there is the faint buzz of the festival happening around you, but it suddenly becomes very aware that it is just you and Saba in this small space.
Lumi will go, "Wow," as like the vines close in, and she then looks up to Saba and, "Wasn't it adorable?" As she gestures to the little rabbit hopping around on the
Saba's
table,
looking at it, peering down at it. This is fascinating. I've always admired craftsmanship like this, but I feel my hands are more suited to the hammer and the forge than the delicate dexterity needed to create something like this. I don't think I could ever.
Well, they are nice hands.
She kind of holds them up, and she kind of almost self-consciously kind of rubs at her fingertips. Well, they're not soft. I work too much. They're rough and calloused.
Well, mine happen to be covered in scales, so. And she'll hold up her hand to Saba, like holding up her palm.
When you hold up your palm, Saba kind of stops. Make an impression.
Roll seduction. 11 plus 12 is 23.
as you hold your hand up, Sava will stop rubbing her own rough hands, and she will hold her hand up and place it against yours. And then she'll shift her fingers slightly to interlace with your own.
Lumi's ears, in attention, caught a little bit by surprise by this. Her tail is flicking nervously, but she's trying her best to like mask this nervousness that she has. And she'll try to like find something to like break this little bit of tension with. Oh, they're quite strong. Lumi says about her fingers and hands, feeling the grip of them.
She kind of loosens her fingers just a little bit. I'm sorry.
No. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing.
I mean, sorry, the first thing that comes to my mind is I don't even work out. She basically says all I do is swing hammers and I make objects out of heavy metal.
You're hearing yourself right now, right?
I mean, look, I'll be honest with you. I when business is slow, I might lift a couple hammers just to make sure that I'm still working, and there's a reason I don't wear sleeves. And she kind of glances at her bare arms and then looks at you and says, "It seems to work."
I was gonna say, is it to charm young kobold women that are hopping through town? Because yeah, that's what they did there.
It's about this time that you notice there's a little and then a last final feeble hop from the clockwork rabbit, and it stops moving. The timer runs out.
Nope.
And Sava says, "Oh, I think that means the tea's ready to drink?"
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
I like,
she lifts a mug.
I like tea, but I've never had fancy tea. Is this like with... do fancy tea people like cheers or say a toast or anything?
No, we can. Let's do it. Let's cheer. Let's make a toast. And she holds up her cup to Sava.
Did you want me to?
Yeah, she's like waiting.
Or...
and then, and seeing that Sava's so like floundering with this. Okay. I'll do the toast. And she'll raise the cup, gesturing it towards Sava, and to unexpected evenings.
I like that. To unexpected evenings. And she will very delicately clink her teacup against yours. And she will sip at her tea. And she'll take another sip and she'll say, This is really, really good, but it makes my tongue feel a little numb. Lumi, you can attempt to stave off the Dreamwalker's tea effects, or you can let yourself experience their full effects.
I think that she is going to not really
Oh,
stave it
God.
off too much. However, when Sava says this, Lumi's gonna say, "Oh, are you sure? Can I have a feel?" And she will move up to Sava's space to go for a kiss.
Ooh. Yes, that's awesome.
I'm going to give you a +2 circumstance bonus
For cute.
to make an impression. I did not hear what you said.
32.
I'm going to let you describe this moment. It is your critical success first kiss.
Fade to black. Okay.
Right in the tea garden?
Amazing. Why the hell not?
I
Good
imagine
for you, Lumi.
there's like a muffled like little gasp of surprise from Sava from this.
Hmm.
She doesn't pull away. She meets it, and Lumi is hesitant as well. She's delicate at first, gives her a chance to pull away. But Lumi sees that she doesn't. And so she keeps going. And she teases at her lips with her tongue. And she keeps going. And her hand moves up from Sava's hand, up her wrist, up her forearm, cradling upper arm, and grabbing her firmly, yet gently. And she lifts herself up off of the chair to like counter the bit of height difference that the two of them have. And they kiss. And I think probably, unless Sava does something, I think they might just kiss for the entirety of the tea experience.
I'm going to say some words, and then I'm going to explain what I mean. When I say I'm going to take this a little bit, I'm going to take this a little bit further. It's at this time that the effects of the tea are starting to have their full effect. And if you two, as you two, choose to spend your time in each other's embrace in this private garden, to the two of you, you feel as though these flowery vines begin to grow across the ground beneath you and begin to lift you up into the air.
Oh, wow.
And you have an experience during this time as if you are raised high into the air under a gigantic, strong, beautiful tree that has raised you like to the top of a tree canopy of a forest, and the clouds begin to, it's so tall that the clouds begin to swirl around you, and the leaves, the flowers begin to move and lift off from the tree until dozens and then hundreds and then thousands of butterflies are fluttering all around you. And I just imagine this as the cinematically, as the music is playing, the camera is just continually rotating around the two of you, and a single butterfly begins to float and flutter and fly down away, reluctantly leaving the two of you, but it's only us, the audience, that are leaving the two of you. You and Sava are going to be busy for a little while. Getting busy. As we determine who is next by a roll of the die. Evens is Natalin, odds is Velynia.
Yay.
We see Velynia. The first thing we see is wherever you happen to be at this moment, you see a single large, brilliantly colored monarch butterfly.
Ha! Ha! Kaeryn, take that!
Seems to flutter in front of you and then just kind of seems to fly around a little bit. What are you doing?
So this is actually like perfect. What I think, I'm going to back up the timeline a little bit. I think I have been kind of unbeknownst, I've been tailing Lumi and Sava. I just want to keep an eye on things.
Jealous.
I just want to make sure that Lumi's okay and everything's fine.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I see this butterfly, and I don't even like register that I haven't fucking seen butterflies in like a long time. And I was like, shoot. And then at the very last second, I see that shrubbery just kind of go and like close around them, and a little smile comes to Velynia's face, and she just kind of says to herself, like, good for you, Lumi. And then she, feeling that everything is good and everything is safe, I think she would go and I think kind of essentially do what Millie is doing, just kind of walking about the festival. I think she gets herself like just some little food stuff, something like a snacky thing, not sweet but savory. I think there's a loaded baked potato stand. I want a loaded baked potato with like bacon and cheese and like hot honey or something. And then she's just kind of like people watching while Millie is kind of perusing the stalls. I think Velynia is more watching the people, and just kind of seeing what's what and how people are interacting, and making her way over to by where the show thing is gonna be, and seeing if she hears any more whispers about anybody that knows exactly when or if the thing is happening, anything at all. But she is, like I said, mainly watching the people and seeing if she can see anybody like getting drunk and making a fool of themselves or about to get in trouble, or things like that obviously hold her interest more than most.
Let's see. Okay, that's not gonna work. I would like you. I was trying to do something and it's just not working. Okay.
Hey, well, Jake is checking something out. Why don't you check us out on? God damn it.
Nope, go ahead.
That's fine. Yeah, on redbubble.com. At redbubble.com, we got all kinds of great merch like the one I'm wearing and so many other cool things. You can get our logos on t-shirts, tank tops, hoodies, mugs, stickers, postcards, puzzles, pillows, and all kinds of other neat things. There's almost always a deal at redbubble.com, especially if it's your first time shopping. So why don't you check us out today at redbubble.com. Just search Mini Terrain Domain.
So, you're people watching.
Yes.
You have a woven, like woven from straw. It's kind of like a shallow, almost like a
boat.
Yeah, I was gonna say kind of like a mat, but it's built to be curved to hold your loaded baked potato. And there's these thin, hand carved utensils. that you're given, so that I just picture you're sort of walking through, and maybe you stop and lean against a lamp post as you're people watching.
Mm-hmm.
And you see that there is you catch sight of him from behind. A slender man who, not Slenderman, a slender man.
God, no.
Who, what catches your sight probably initially is you just catch him as he's sort of walking away from you. He is wearing very loose and flowy dark pants that are sort of a dark red or dark black or blue. He has a very loose, silky, with puffy sleeves, white shirt, and a very loose and flowy red vest over that, with an ornate belt made of what look like, the chains are made to look like interlocking hands. And you can see that he's got this long golden blonde hair and several piercings. As he turns, you catch, some of them catch the light of the lamps. Both ears all pierced. And he's talking to a woman who looks like she's listening with rapt attention, but you can't help but notice that she's flicking her eyes every once in a while, like she's trying to make an excuse to get away. This woman looks to be probably in her 40s. Red hair, human. They're both human. And she's holding a mug of ale in her hand. That does appear, by the way she's moving it, to be mostly empty. Probably because she's drinking it very quickly in the hopes possibly of making an excuse to leave.
Okay.
And he gestures off to the side, and like he's saying something over this way, and he takes an extra like 5 seconds to point at something, and in those 5 seconds she quickly ducks and disappears behind a group of people moving. And as he turns, you see that he is actually an elderly man. Looks to be in his 80s. But he's dressing like he's in his 30s.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, my God.
And for a moment, he just kind of looks like, oh. And he's looking around. And then he sees you.
Fuck. Okay.
And then he starts walking towards you. It is worth noting that his walk is more of a shuffle.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm still eating my potato. So I think I just kind of like, Velynia gauges whether or not she like has somewhere to be. And she doesn't really urgently. So she just kind of like shrugs to herself and sees what he has to say. Yeah, very old. Here.
You get through a good 3 or 4 bites of your potato before he makes it to you.
Jeez, he's just taking his sweet time.
And he stops and he looks at you and he... I couldn't help but notice you're all alone tonight.
Not necessarily. I'm waiting for somebody.
Everybody's waiting for somebody.
Oh,
You need not wait any longer.
Oh, God.
Allow me to introduce myself. Pausanias McKellar.
Incredible. Cineas. I'm Velynia.
Velynia. That is a nice name. For a nice young lady.
I am anything but nice, Posenius.
What brings you to the festival?
Well, I live here, and, well, I wasn't doing much else tonight, so I figured I'd come out and get some of the local fare.
Well, look no further. I am the local fare.
Delightful. Well, since you have clearly been around here for a very, very long time, have you heard any whispers about the Lamplighter Company? Whether or not Sarah Lumen is performing tonight? I heard she might, but it's always quite the mystery.
Sarah Lumen. Sarah Lumen. I knew a Sarah probably about 40, 50 years ago.
You don't say.
Not Lumen, though. It was Sarah... I don't remember, actually. I'm not aware of any shows other than... I believe that there's the Sandpoint Theatre has a moon stage. Late night musical performance, and you lay back and you look up at magical constellations.
Well, that sounds very fun.
It's especially fun if you have a little something to enhance your experience. And he performs a little sleight of hand motion, and he holds up a hand-rolled cigarette, tapered at the end.
Oh my god. Is it a cigarette or is it a joint? Oh yeah, never mind. It's tapered at the end. It's a joint. And well, Posenius, what would I owe you for such a enhancement?
Sorry, I missed the first part of what you said. I coughed.
What would I owe you for such an enhancement, Posenius? As Velynia has like a hand in her pouch.
I want you to roll a D100. And in this case, before you roll, I'm not going to roll. I have in mind what... No, I take it back. I am going to roll. It wasn't going to work the way I was going to do it. There's two ways I'm seeing that this can go.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to divide it 50-50. If you roll, just roll. I'll figure it out.
Okay.
I'm trying to logic this through, and I'm struggling to understand my own logic.
I got a 20.
Okay. I know which way it's going to... If I roll in the same way, I know which way it's going to go if I roll in the same area that you do. That he is going to allow you to attempt to buy this.
Incredible.
But if I roll in the other... So if I roll 51 and above, it's going to go a different way.
Oh, Christ. Okay, great.
60. You would only owe me one thing. And he turns and he holds and offers his elbow. To accompany me to the experience. I can be quite enjoyable to lie down next to in the dark.
Nope. Okay. I'd be like, well, where'd you look at the time? Vasinius, I actually, believe it or not, have to meet some of my acquaintances nearby. So just lost track of time here in my potato. But perhaps we could take a rain check. Thank you so much for the offer. I'm terribly sorry I can't take you up on it. Goodbye. And Velynia just like away from this fucker. No, I don't, and I never will, and that's fine.
Velynia, I don't know why the music stopped. That's how bad of an impression he left on you. It was so bad that he stopped the music.
And I think Velynia is just like kind of like shaking that off as she continues to people watch and is a little bit more on her toes about the people watching.
Go ahead and make another perception check.
Okay. That's a dirty 20.
Okay. As you maneuver yourself into the crowd in the opposite direction as Pesanius McKellar, you are sort of glancing over your shoulder, and you're pretty adept at blending in. Think of it like the Assassin's Creed one, where you just sort of blend right into a crowd.
Like a little crowd.
Except as you do this, and you sort of look from over your shoulder back to in front of you, one of the people you attempt to blend in with is none other than Sarah Lumen.
Oh my god, amazing.
Oh, hello.
I think without thinking, without even thinking, Velynia like grabs her by the elbow, almost like afraid that if she doesn't like make contact, she's gonna like slip away again. And now that she finally has, like, you are terribly difficult to find, my dear.
I've been out and about and around town the last few days.
I have not seen you, and I have been desperately trying to find out when your show is.
Ah, so I see my marketing has been working.
Yes, torturously. But perhaps you could let me in on the secret,
You're that eager to see my show, are you?
And Velynia stands up straighter and lets go of her elbow and says, I said I would come, and I'm trying to be a woman of my word.
Good, I appreciate that. I had hoped you would come. I am actually heading to the stage now to put on my stage makeup and change into costume. The show will begin within the hour.
Wonderful.
I already have some people doing crowd work to gather people, and she kind of indicates, and you see a little further down the street, you see that there are a couple of jugglers and a mime that are moving through the street, and anybody that walks by, somehow the jugglers and the mime seem to kind of maneuver them towards or to be facing a one of the signs advertising Sarah Lumen's show.
Okay.
So
wow.
And you see that there down the street where the theater is, a small crowd is just beginning to gather.
Perfect. And Velynia smiles and just says, well, this marketing campaign really is something.
I've been doing this for quite a while. I've found a way to draw people's curiosity. It seemed to have worked quite well with you.
Yes, very much.
Well,
thank you and good luck.
I do hope you will enjoy the show. And she will give you a slight curtsy, and then she will turn on her heels, and she'll kind of just effortlessly, very easily make her way through the crowd, weaving her way in and out of people to get to her stage wagon. As
awesome.
we turn to Natalin. Where you at, Natalin? What you doing?
Oh, okay. So last we left Natalin leaving the Rusty Dragon with Caleb. And I think she's actually quite quiet when they first leave and they're walking. Kind of like that awkward silence of not knowing what to say after so long. And then she just kind of, as she's looking down at the ground, just like, you've been gone so long that I didn't think you'd come back. I thought you'd finally forgotten about me. And
believe it or not, you are impossible to forget.
I think there's, if you could see her face at this moment, but she's kind of hiding it. If you could see her face, there's this war of emotions on her face as she's kind of like happy to hear that, but then also guilty and saddened by it as well. It would... Caleb, you shouldn't say such things. You should... You should try.
I have tried.
I think maybe at that moment, as he was just saying that, somebody from, I don't know, one of the shops nearby, maybe kind of passes on them on the street, somebody that Natalin knows, and she immediately kind of like yanks her hand away and hides them behind her back.
I can't help but wonder if maybe you were a little more successful in trying to forget me. Natalin, I'm sorry if this is making you uncomfortable. We can talk about something else.
It's just that there's so many people around. What if somebody sees? What if the rumors start up again? What if they all start saying the same things again? I don't want that for you.
I have been out of town for a number of years. I have moved on from most of the things in this town, and contrary to what you may have been led to believe, I did not leave because of you. I left to take care of things after my father passed away. And business has kept me in Magnemar for all these many years. And it has been long enough that while I haven't forgotten you, nor have I forgotten the things that people said, I no longer care. Watch this. And he turns and he grabs hold of a young couple as they're walking by, just sort of grabs the man's elbow and he says, do you know who I am? And he kind of looks at him and he says, mate, I have no idea who you are. carry on. And he whips around to somebody else and he goes, do you know who I am? You look like a Valdemar, says a gruff, bearded man, and he goes, that's right. I'm Caleb Valdemar. And this is Natalin. And we are at the festival together.
I think she tries to grab him.
And this man says, why the fuck do I care about that? And he turns and walks away. I think you're manufacturing things to be concerned about. But far be it from me to tell you how to feel. As I said, if you're uncomfortable, why don't we talk about things adjacent? We talked at dinner about you and your friends. You're adventurers now. That's got to be exciting. Delving into the pit and search of what? Legends and rumors and treasure?
Well, it's not nearly as glorious as that. It's just... there's something evil there, and we're trying to get rid of it before it destroys Sandpoint.
Admirable. Heroic, even.
Not really.
Are you not happy adventuring with your friends?
Oh, no. Don't get me wrong. I find them, they're very wonderful people. It's just that I'm going to kill them all.
I'm sorry, what?
Exactly. Just like you, if you stick around me too long.
Maybe I have been away from town for too long. What do you mean?
I've seen it. They all die. Because of me. God. Oh, no.
This is about your parents again, isn't it?
I know you never believed me.
A lot
true.
of people died during those times. Unfortunately, a very few, very many people who fell victim. The same way your father did. It was not your fault.
And yet, the curse lies on me. The taint follows me.
Since I have left, how many people close to you have passed away?
I have no one close to me.
That is the saddest thing I think I have heard anyone say. Is that why you push people away or hold them at a distance? Because of this curse you imagine attached to yourself?
I know you call me foolish believing in this, but the reason I made the decision I did those years ago was because at that time, the people were betting on how soon I would kill you. It's not a life I want for you. It's best if... It's best if you just... pretend I don't exist.
I wish you could believe me when I tell you. That you're the only one that thinks this way. You are conditioned by the people of this town to be cynical. You fell for their propaganda, to believe them in this way. I wish that you could believe me when I say that you need to stop pushing people away and instead pull them closer. And he takes one step closer to you. And I would like you to make a will saving throw.
Oh, I failed. I'm just gonna fail.
Fail voluntarily? Stop, girl,
So-
get it.
She doesn't
Yes.
move.
Atta girl. Mm-hmm.
Mm. Unless you want me to make the will save otherwise.
Mm-mm.
If your defenses are down and you want to fail, regardless of knowing what you're saving against, you can choose to fail.
Yeah.
In which case it would count as a critical failure. Which means you can't help but believe Caleb is speaking absolute truth. And maybe that's what you've been missing, is a voice of reason, somebody that was there when you were going through all of this. Somebody that understood what it was like. Somebody that understands you. That maybe he's right. Maybe you have been giving in and believing what the people have been saying. Now, I'm going to say this as meta knowledge, but because I don't know your character sheets, do you have anything that prevents you from being charmed?
I don't believe so. Where would that be under?
I don't know, because I don't
It's typically a racial thing.
like.
What are you? a
Do
human?
elves and half elves?
Half elves have that. They can't be charmed magically.
I'm a human though.
I know.
Well, I was just comparing it to D&D. Like I on the character side, I don't have as much inherent knowledge as I do on D&D. So, okay.
I don't know where they would put this on the spread on the
I think it would be
It would
obvious.
be under a feat. It would be under a feat.
feet.
I think
Uh,
it would say racial feat or whatever it's called here.
I have,
Well, for now, you're choosing to be charmed
mm,
in this way.
yeah, no, deep down, Natalin is very much desiring this. So
Can I make a suggestion? I would like it if you and I could walk through this festival tonight and leave any the baggage of the past behind. Just two good friends who haven't seen each other in a very long time, experiencing an important part of our town's history, tradition. Would you do that for me? And I will ask for another will save unless you choose to fail it.
I would think I'll do a will save on this one.
Because you are charmed, I'm going to give you a -2 penalty to this will save.
Oh shit! I rolled a nat 20. Apparently.
But you
Okay.
can still choose to go with him. It's just
So-
your choice this time.
So 32, then minus whatever penalty you're gonna get.
So it becomes a 30. Which is a success, not a critical success. Well, I mean, the 20 would make it a critical success, I guess. Let me check something. There's a strangeness that you note in the way Caleb says this to you. You're not quite sure, or maybe you are and you want to give voice to that, of what it is, that whether it's the words he's using are different than how you would expect Caleb to talk, but whatever the case, you realize that within the words he was using, they were threads of occult magic. And he was attempting to cast a suggestion spell on you.
I think that's the moment she was stepping towards him. I think then she takes a step back and she's like, "Are you trying to magic me?"
He gives you a little crooked, sly smile and a shoulder shrug and says, "I thought perhaps it would make you relax a bit." The Caleb Valdemar that you knew did not know magic.
I hate that.
Who are you?
We all change. Well, some of us change, Natalin. When my father died, I had to take on the role of head of the Valdemar family. I've been in Magnamar for a very long time. And when the business that I am in, I have had to change. I've had to learn new things, new ways of coping, and new ways to be in the world. I couldn't stay here and plant my feet in the ground, and certainly not bury my head in the sand. The softness has left his voice. It's not that there's a cruelty to his words per se, but there's a coldness to them. Look, I can't make you enjoy yourself. No more than I can make you let go of the past, despite how much I try to help you see that.
Was any of this real? She kind of like points between him and her.
I think what we had was real once upon a time. But But I can see that you are still the same person you have always been, Natalin. You are resistant to change. And I am someone who has grown and changed and am completely different. And perhaps that makes us incompatible. I had hoped, perhaps, that you had matured.
Just when I thought I was trust you, just when I thought that maybe I'd take that chance, I find, no, it's all a lie.
I didn't lie to you.
You tried to start this new relationship off with magic.
I tried to make you see truth, and it is very apparent that the truth hurts.
Yeah, the truth hurts. It's how one gets through it.
But that's
But
the
now
problem.
I don't even know what's the truth anymore because
You're not getting through it. You're choosing to stay mired in the swamp of your own despair.
so you would rather ensorcel me and have me bend to your will to get through it, not actually get through it.
Perhaps I wasn't trying to bend you to my will, but to get you to break the shackles free of your own will. Regardless, you are still seeing things as you have always seen them, that it is everyone against Natalin. And clearly, I cannot change that. And if I can't change that, I can only hope that your new friends will somehow break through. Yet, it's I that am here with you and none of your friends. I am not sorry that I tried to give you the freedom to enjoy yourself for an evening. I will be in town for a little while longer. I'm not going anywhere. I hope that before I leave town, perhaps you'll have thought on some of the words I've had to say, and perhaps you will come and see me.
I'm finding it really hard to trust you right now. I don't even know which words were true.
As I said, I spoke only words of truth. You just refused to accept them. Do you want me to leave?
At this moment, because her guard is up, I'd like to sense motive. Is he actually speaking any words of truth right now?
Okay.
I thought you were just gonna give him a Hollywood slap. Betty Davis. Whoosh.
Yeah. Well, it depends on how I roll on this. What do I roll for that? Is it perception?
Sense motive is a perception check. It used to be its own skill, I think, but they rolled it into a perception check.
Mm-hmm. It did used to be its own skill.
Ooh, that's a 27.
Nice. Nice.
You search Caleb's eyes. And with a 27, while this man seems less kind than you remember, less comforting, you do not detect any lies from him. He doesn't seem to be withholding anything. He seems as though he's telling you the truth.
Can we enjoy the fair together? No more magics.
If that is what you wish, and it means that you will attempt to enjoy the festivities with me, then I will wholeheartedly agree to your wish. No fingers crossed.
I think she just kind of curtly nods at him. Very well.
I hear that there is a show taking place in front of the Sandpoint Theatre. Would you like to go see it?
I do, actually.
As the two of you begin to walk away, the camera stays put, and we do hear him, after a moment, say, I don't suppose you'd want to hold my hand.
Aww.
I think she kind of just looks at him, gives him the side eye, kind of reading his face and emotions again.
You get a little bit of that same sly smile.
And she just kind of, I guess, there's that moment where she just makes that decision, and she holds out her hand to him.
Get it. Proud of you.
All right.
Ooh, damn, Tamiko. Very true.
With that, we are going to go ahead and take a very short break. And when we come back, it's showtime, baby! All right. We will take a short break and we'll see you on the other side.
The show!
Welcome to the show. I would like to know who all is attending the show. Is everybody attending the show? So you find yourselves in the crowd, standing in front of Sarah Lumen's wagon that converts into a theater. The stage has already been deployed, and there are numerous lights around, but the curtains are drawn. Quite a crowd of people have gathered, and there's still about there's a mime and two jugglers that keep wending their way through the crowd and are sort of directing people, although it's become more apparent now as the crowd has grown and word has spread that this show is taking place. And there's quite a lot of space in front of this makeshift theater across from the actual theater. This is a wide street, and there's a wide space used to accommodating crowds for the Sandpoint Theater. A handful of people have chosen to go into the Sandpoint Theater to experience the Pink Floyd Laser Light Show and Planetarium. And there is a very distinct odor coming from the theater of many people. I think you even see, as you're waiting for Sarah's show to begin, you see Pausanias with a much younger 60-year-old woman
Perfect. That's
accompanying him, and they are holding hands and giggling between the two of them as they head into the Sandpoint Theater. A hush begins to spread through the crowd, and the curtain moves a little bit, and then the curtain parts, and Sarah Lumen steps into view. She wears layered performance attire in muted stage blacks and deep wine reds. and you see that they're adorned with hundreds, if not thousands, of tiny sequins. A half cloak drapes over one shoulder, fastened with a silver clasp, shaped like two masks, one weeping and one laughing. Her costume catches the lantern light in controlled flashes, making her sparkle and glisten like a sneak preview of the ritual of Stardust. She pauses at center stage and peers out over the audience. Good evening, travelers, revelers, and gentlefolk of Sandpoint. I am Sarah Lumen, and tonight I bring but a small taste of the Aureate of Caer Maga, one of this land's most glorious theater districts. I am very excited for you, because you have the honor of being the very first audience to experience a work I have been crafting and honing for many years, and it is finally ready for me to perform for you. Tonight I present to you my one-woman show, The Understudy. Behind Sarah, the curtain rises. A painted backdrop stretches across the rear of the wagon stage, towering silhouettes of Caer Maga's spires, reimagined as romanticized giants of stone and light, their windows glowing like scattered stars. The Aureate district is suggested in sweeping brushstrokes, arches, balconies, fluttering banners, frozen mid-breeze. The floor lights dim and a single light illuminates the stage. Act 1. The first applause. Sarah stands alone beneath a pale spotlight, her hands clasped tightly before her. When I was little, I thought the theater was holy. Not holy like temples with incense and priests and muttered prayers. No, holier than that. Because gods never answered me, but the stage did. I remember pressing my face to the rain-slick windows of little roadside playhouses, watching painted queens die beautifully beneath candlelight while peasants in the crowd forgot their hunger for an hour or two. I remember memorizing every line before I knew what the words meant, every gesture, every bow. And then the city, the great shining city. Gods, how enormous it felt. Towers like giants, streets overflowing with lanterns and perfume and music. I thought that if I stood still too long, I might simply be swept away in it forever. And there upon the stage of the Celestine Theatre, I saw her. Elidra Vale, the silver dove of Aureate. She stepped into the light and the whole world bent around her. I swear it. The audience vanished. The orchestra faded. Even the candles seemed to burn quieter just to hear her speak. I loved her before the first act was over. Not gently, not sensibly. I loved her the way storms love the sea. And when she smiled upon that stage, I remember thinking the most dangerous thing a heart can think. There you are. The one I have always been waiting for. Slowly, panels rotate inward on the back of the wagon stage, replacing the Aureate backdrop, and revealing the interior of a grand theater dressing wing rendered in suggestion rather than realism. A vanity table lined with mirrors that catch and fracture the light into fragments, costume racks that rise like dark forests of silk and lace. A half-drawn stage curtain visible through a narrow archway at the rear. The color palette deepens. Reds, blacks, muted golds. Act 2. The Understudy. The spotlight tightens, and Sarah smiles faintly now, though grief pulls at her eyes. They told me I was fortunate, and perhaps I was. A nobody from nowhere, chosen to understudy her. To stand in the wings with script in trembling hands while Eladra Vale transformed breath into poetry night after night. I fetched tea, pressed costumes, sorted scripts, mended hems by candlelight until my fingers bled into the silk, and I adored every humiliating second of it. Because love makes servants of us all eventually. Sometimes she would thank me absent-mindedly while removing her gloves after a performance, and I would carry those 2 words around for days like precious jewels hidden beneath my ribs. Sometimes she would laugh. Oh, God's the laugh. And I would forget entire scenes because my soul had wandered away to follow the sound of it. But always, there was fear. Terrible fear. Because what if I spoke? What if I laid my heart before her only to discover it ugly, unwanted, childish? So I loved her silently, in stolen glances, in folded costumes, in warm cups of tea left waiting after rehearsals. Every night I stood just beyond the spotlight while the woman I loved belonged to everyone else. The stage transforms again, but the shift is subtle. The lights dim, all but one focused on Sarah, center stage. Silk curtains drift slowly from above, like the slow cascade of waterfalls, forming the illusion of a single private chamber. Soft, cold, pale moonlight filters through the curtains, suggesting night. The floor parts and a bed rises from the floor, filling the space behind Sarah. Act 3, the final curtain. In the dim light, Sarah's voice lowers into something raw and trembling. It took me 3 years to find the courage. 3 years. I rehearsed the words more than any role I had ever played. I would tell her after the performance, I decided. No audience, no orchestra, just honesty at last. I remember carrying flowers. White lilies. Gods, what a foolish little dream I was holding in my hands. Her chamber door was already opened when I arrived. And were for one beautiful, impossible heartbeat, I thought she had left it open for me. But the room was wrong. Too quiet. The candles burned low. One curtain stirred in the night breeze. And there, upon the bed... No. No, no, no! There are sights that divide your life into before and after. That was mine. The flowers fell from my hands. I remember that clearly. White petals scattered across the floorboards like surrender flags. And there she was. My star. My muse. My terrible, radiant love. Cold. Silenced. taken from the world by some coward's blade while I spent years hiding words inside my own throat. I called her name once. Eladra. Then again. Eladra Vale. It was quieter the second time, as though the gentleness might somehow wake her. I remember falling beside the bed, my knee striking the floor so hard I felt the bones jar. I remember taking her hand in both of mine and begging the universe to undo itself just this once, please, please. Her skin was already cold, and I wept. Gods, how I wept. Not beautifully, not poetically. There was no grace in it. My tears fell against her cheeks and gathered at the hollow of her throat, while I clung to her like a drowning woman clutching wreckage. I told her then everything. Every hidden word, every swallowed confession, every foolish hope I had carried like a candle inside my chest for all those years. And she heard none of it. Then something changed. Grief is a strange creature. At first it arrives like winter, cold, immense, impossible to survive. But if you sit with it long enough, if you let it dig its claws in deep enough, it begins to burn. I felt it there beside her bed. My sorrow blackened, curdled, hardened into something sharp. Whoever did this had not merely killed a woman. They had stolen every unwritten future she and I might have had. Every laugh, every argument, every morning, every touch I had been too frightened to reach for. And suddenly my tears felt small. Useless things. I wiped them away. I bent low, and I kissed her brow. When I rose from beside that bed, I did not rise as the trembling understudy who had entered the room with lilies in her hands. I rose carrying hatred. The theater taught me many things. How to speak. How to lie. How to wear another's face. But grief taught me purpose. Vengeance became the role I never stopped performing. It carried me across years like a current, carrying debris. From city to city, from theater to theater, I wore smiles that were not mine, spoke names that were not mine. I followed whispers through crowded taverns and candlelit parlors and blood-soaked alleys alike. Every stage became a hunting ground. Every applause sounded emptier than the last. Because all the while, beneath every bow and every practiced laugh, there remained only one truth. I was searching for the monster who took her from me. And after all these years, after all this time spent feeding the fire she left burning inside my chest, I have finally found them. And tonight, at long last, I shall have my revenge. Velynia, you feel a prick.
God damn it.
You feel a prick in the back, down by your kidneys. I need you to make a fortitude saving throw. You're gonna
Roll, Raggy. Okay. Fortitude.
Yep.
16.
You're gonna take 4 points of piercing damage.
Okay. Light work. Whatever. It's probably fine.
You are also going to take 2 points of poison damage, and you're sickened 1. One of the jugglers spins around in front of you, laughs, holds their hand out, and blows stardust into your face. I need you to make another fortitude saving throw, please.
Jesus. 14.
Uh,
I think Velynia has just been, like, locked into this show. Like, and she doesn't even realize it, but she's just all, like, clenched up and her knees are shaking as she watches.
you are... What'd you get on your last save?
The last one was a 16. This one was a 14.
Okay. As this stardust blows into your face, everything gets... The lights become very bright. You are stupefied 1. No, sorry. You are stupefied 2. Everything... Your thoughts, your instincts have become clouded. The poison begins to seep into your body, causing you pain. Make another fortitude saving throw.
30-20.
You're going to take 8 more poison damage, and you are clumsy 1 and sickened 2.
Clumsy 1, sickened. Jesus. Okay.
You are now, as everything around you, it seems everybody is laughing, and they seem to almost be laughing at you, faces distorted like funhouse mirrors. You are now confused and stupefied 3. I want one more fortitude saving throw, please.
Okay, that one was a little bit better. 27.
You don't get any more poison damage, and you don't advance in the sickened condition.
Great.
But you are now confused and stupefied 4. You are clumsy. You are sickened 2 and taking damage. Yes.
Conditions don't stack though normally, remember?
Normally they don't. What do you mean? Which conditions would be stacking?
Conditions, like for example, a stupefy. If she already took a stupefied 2, the next time she was subjected to a stupefied, if it was a 2 again, it would just negate itself out. It
Nope,
wouldn't become a
nope.
4.
This is a thing that has stages. Stages work differently. When a condition such as poison is affecting you, as the stages advance, the condition increases in value. Especially when you fail your saves. That's what's happening.
Narratively, this is just...
I was thinking more of the, because I thought I had vetted for sure that these didn't overlap, which I did. So you are clumsy 1, sickened 2. You are confused.
4 and confused.
Stupid 4. Nope, not stupid.
I'm going to use that on my students. You have a stupid 4 condition.
Stupefied 4. And I think clumsy's in there somewhere too.
Clumsy 1 is what you said.
Yes.
Ugh. So I think this is all just hit.
And all you can see is as the two jugglers move around and the crowd is applauding at the rest of you. Applause erupts around you, and Sarah Lumen takes a bow. The crowd is quickly beginning to move towards the exit, and you see as the mime, Velynia, moves into view, and you see the blade in their hand as they push it into your, not into you, but into your side. And the mime doesn't say anything, but motions. And as their face is twisting and distorting, and the mime and the jugglers are leading you in the opposite direction of the crowd, the mimes, through their makeup, they look like a certain young shadow collective acolyte, neophyte, that had been, once upon a time, not too long ago, tagging along with you.
Fake dead.
In this moment, I forgot what her name was. It's
It was Shada.
Shada. Just Shada, not Shada.
Shada.
That's her stage play. As you are led into the shadows, and as you all head out of the theater into the main crowd, which more or less you were already in the street, it just starts to disband. That is where we are going to end tonight's session. And you called it, Velynia.
Called it.
Cari, kidnapped.
Kidnapped. If we had bet, I'd have won. Yeah.
Oh, no. Oh, I thought I hit the wrong button. Scared me.
Goodness gracious. Uh-oh.
Unfortunately, Cari will not be able to join us for the next 2 sessions. Before we take our hiatus. So I needed to remove Velynia from the equation. Cari, correct me if I'm wrong, but it seemed like partway through that performance you started to grow suspicious.
Yeah, as soon as, the only thing that was throwing me was like the names, the names were changed to protect the innocent.
Exactly.
But I was like, oh, so this is gonna be fine. This is different. And then as soon as they started talking about like this one actress that was like, I'm like, yeah. 100%.
Well, and Sarah did say you talked about what's her name's.
Oh yeah, I've heard of her. Yeah.
Her name is escaping me right now.
It was.
I don't have it in front of me.
Caliora of ICN.
Yeah, Teleria of ICN.
Teleria.
Yeah. Yep.
I wish I had a message ready to send to Tamiko, a private message that said, I think I know where this is going. And I didn't send it. I wish I had, because I fucking knew it.
I glanced at the chat a couple times because I thought I saw you in message mode and then nothing came through.
I was thinking about sending it, but I couldn't pull the trigger, but I was right. I think you guys believe me.
Yep. I enjoyed writing I briefly thought about, and if I hadn't been gone all weekend, I would have maybe taken this extra step. I thought about making it more Shakespearean and making it almost like because I haven't written an iambic pentameter in like years. But I thought, one woman show. That sounds cool. It was not long after we played your one-on-one, the forging of a blade, that I thought, oh man, actresses have understudies. It wasn't out of nowhere that you guys met a lamplighter company that had a performer in their midst.
Oh, fuckers. Incredible. Well done.
All right, well, okay. I'm sure they won't notice you're gone, at least for a day.
Velynia's just doing her own shit. You know, she does that. Oh, wow.
That is so true, Kaeryn.
Pulling in the deep cut. I was waiting for that line, Kaeryn. I was waiting for that, too. Damn.
What is that from?
That was from my one-shot. That was the line, like the poetic... The line that was on the fucking script open when I...
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I don't have everything committed to memory, but...
No.
I'm reading...
Why not that?
I'm reading that, and I'm like, I know that sounds familiar. I just can't remember what it's from. Oh, I wrote that?
Mm-hmm.
I wrote that? Oh.
I think I wrote that, my man. God bless.
Don't worry. Some of you are seeing, as you said,
What a great show.
the strings of
You
your
guys
own
are just gonna
makings. And some of you, your puppets just haven't entered the stage yet. Or have they? We shall see. We shall see. This is only episode 57 of who knows how many. Listen, you guys have only dealt with one of the 7 dooms so far.
Right.
So, at this
I
rate...
feel like there's been other side dooms.
Try my best, honey.
Romantic trauma.
All right, well, with that, I want to say a huge
Proceedings.
thank you, as always, to everybody who joins us. Shout out. I think it's worth mentioning, Monty DL 55 stream streak. That's pretty impressive.
Hell yeah.
Shout out to Kaeryn again for the 4-year modiversary. Thank you for everybody hanging in the chat. Oh, hey, Raven Rolls. Don't know if you're still here, but welcome.
Happy birthday, Cari.
Thank you.
Yes, happy birthday, Cari. And thank you to anybody who likes to lurk quietly in the background, or maybe you're watching with us on the VOD later. Just know that we appreciate you and hope you enjoy these games as much as we enjoy playing them. And of course, a huge thank you to everybody playing tonight. I know some people were under the weather. Some of us were struggling with tiredness from travels and things like that. But we couldn't let Carrie's last session before the break go unplayed. And I was dying to perform my one-woman show. So,
Brava. 5 out
so
of 5.
with that, I just want to say once again a huge thank you, as always, to Vi, Kaeryn, Tamiko, Cari, and Baron, without whom this would just be a one-woman show. With that, we're going to go ahead and end the stream the same way we end every stream. You can say it with me if you want. Vengeance will be mine.